Hello, and as always, welcome. Boy, 2020, right? It's just terrible. Things are just constantly happening at such an alarming rate, and it's just nuts. COVID-19, murder hornets, civil unrest, people setting the earth on fire for their fucking gender reveal parties. It's just a disaster. We live in SimCity, and whoever's playing left it on disaster mode. But whatever. Um, there's so many things about this year that have sucked, and this isn't high up on the list, but one of them for me, and I know a lot of people, especially other people in this hobby of collecting old games and whatever, and a lot of other YouTube channels that do this sort of junk, thrifting. Not doing as much of it. Um, the stores are open and you can go in, but I don't know if your area is anything like mine. Um, it doesn't seem like a good idea to go in all the time. Even with a mask and all that stuff, even with a hazmat suit, I don't trust some of the thrift stores around me. In particular, the Goodwill near my house. I just, I don't even bother anymore. Didn't go there for a few months, and then more recently, me and my girlfriend were like, man, we haven't been to Goodwill in so goddamn long, so fucking bored. Let's just drive up, see if it's slammed or not, you know, see if enough people are hashtag staying at home. Maybe we can go in and it won't be too bad. So we get there, and the parking lot was kind of borderline. Like, it was like kind of busy, but not the worst I'd seen. So we were like, okay, we'll go in. I set my watch. I was like, all right, we got 15 minutes. And then, we're getting the hell out of here. And we go in her section she was shopping in was fine. There's like nobody there. Everyone's socially distant. My section, the back of the store, which in my Goodwill is where they keep all the media and furniture and stuff like that. Chaos. It looked busier than it ever did pre-pandemic. It was just like mostly like old boomers, just like clustered together, packed in like sardines and coughing on each other. And I was just like, oh my God, we've made a mistake. We gotta go. Like, we have to get the hell out of here. And she was like, well, my section's fine, and I found some stuff. What's the line look like? I look over across the store, and my Goodwill people do this weird thing where, like, even though there's multiple registers, they get in this one master line, and then as the registers open up, they go to them. And it's just like everybody, just like ass to crotch. And we were both just like, all right, we gotta get the hell out of here. This is a mistake. And yeah. And anytime I drive by, it just looks chaotic. Like, I don't know, a lot of the places around here they look busier than they were pre-pandemic. I don't get it. I don't know if it's just people wanting to be defiant or whatever. Like, yeah, we got back our freedom to spread around a deadly virus. But I don't know, whatever. None of my business. I'm avoiding that. When I do go places, because I never got the quarantine experience that you see in memes, like quarantine day 120, cleaned my house for like, the 119th time. Like, I didn't get that. I've been working this entire time, which is why I haven't like posted anything in forever. Like, work is going phenomenally well, surprisingly, and keeping me just nightmarishly busy. But yeah, so it's just been a lot of hustling and avoiding places and not thrifting. I mean, I've been buying stuff online. Some of it's behind me here. I've found some cool stuff. Maybe I'll do a video of that or whatever. But, it's just not the same. And, like, something's missing. Like, I missed that. So, yeah. Didn't have any plans to go thrifting, though, until earlier today. One of my friends messaged me, and he said, thrift store here in Orlando has so fucking many big box PC games, a few unopened, all pretty cheap. And he told me where it was and sent a photo. And I'm looking at this, and there's some interesting stuff here. Like, just out off the top of my head, we've got Baldur's Gate, Civilization 2 and 3, Wing Commander 3 and 4, Deus Ex, Hexen, Age of Empires, I think, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, a sealed copy of Duke It Out in DC, looks to be from Macintosh, which is interesting, Riven, Tomb Raider 2, Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity, it's a distant photo, it's kind of hard to read, and just like a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't pass that up. That's just too good. I mean, if I bought all that stuff on eBay, it'd just be ludicrous in terms of price. So I asked my girlfriend, I was like, hey, this is what's up. Want to go to Orlando, which is about 2 hours away from where I am in the Tampa Bay area. And she was like, yeah, sure. So we're having a couple's COVID cheat day. That's not a funny joke. Be responsible, wear your mask, stay at home if you can, whatever. But we're going to take the necessary precautions, and if it's too slammed or seems too sketchy, we're just going to go home, whatever. But it's worth checking out, and yeah, I don't encourage having COVID cheat day. Do not do that. That was not a funny joke. I'll probably edit this out. But yeah, we're going to go to Orlando and do a little thrifting and maybe come back with some killer games. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to film this, but then I was just like, fuck it, right? You know, why not? So yeah, it's currently like 2 a.m. So I'm going to try and get some sleep soon because I want to leave fairly early. Because hopefully most of that stuff is still there. I want to be one of the first people in the door. So yeah, we're going to do that. So I'm going to wrap this up and go to bed, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. Alright, so it's the next morning, and after a quick coffee run to Dunkin' Donuts, we began our journey. And whenever I go to Orlando, most of the time, unless I'm coming from like downtown Tampa, like in the heart of the city, I don't really take Interstate 4 because it fucking sucks anyway. And there's always just traffic and people drive just insane. So I take this kind of back way on a state road, and I kind of like it. Just better. I usually don't get stuck in traffic for 3 hours, and I don't know, the scenery is a little bit cooler anyway. Just a lot of country and small towns, and I just kind of like the vibe. So yeah, for miles and miles and miles, we just saw a lot of this, which is just nothing in trees and moss, and that's about it. And then eventually you get to some small towns. Around here, we're in the small town of Mascot or Mascote. I don't know. And I don't know. It's just some town in Central Florida, and it's there. You can go there and experience all of its delights, and then you can keep on going. Yeah. And then we nearby is the town of Groveland. And in particular, I noticed this like barbecue place, and there was a sign for it, and the sign, there's something about it that just was really unsettling to me. I'll zoom in here. James Barbecue. You don't need teeth to eat James ribs. Now, with this, I know what they're saying. The meat is so tender, it just falls off the bone, so you don't need teeth. I don't know, I just feel like out of context, it just sounds kind of, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. Like Like, if you just slapped that sentence on something and you didn't know it was in reference to barbecue, I would think you're trying to eat a guy named James's, like, actual ribs, like in his rib cage, without teeth. I don't know. I don't know. But that's a thing. And yeah. And then after a whole lot of driving, we entered one of my favorite small towns you pass through going this way, Claremont. It's just a suburb of Orlando. I don't think there's anything really notable about it, but I just like it. I don't know. It's got a good vibe. It's kind of hilly. There's lakes. It just looks nice. It's just a nice place to be. I don't know. I could probably live here. Maybe. If I ever felt the need to live in Orlando or around Orlando, I feel like I would choose Claremont. If you live in Claremont or have lived in Claremont in the past, chime in. What's it like to actually live there? Because it seems pleasant. It just seems like a good time. Very aesthetically pleasing to me. But yeah, past Claremont, we start getting into kind of the heart of like the Orlando metropolitan area. And if you're from here, you know that getting into the heart of the Orlando metro area means one thing: tolls. And lots of tolls. Yeah. Orlando is full of these damn things. I mean, Florida in general is full of these damn things, but Orlando especially is full of these fucking toll roads. And it's to scam all the tourists coming in for the theme parks. You know, they'll get you one way or another. So, whatever. The first of our many, many tolls we racked up was on the Florida Turnpike. A long-ass highway that goes from, like, Ocala to, like, South Florida, like West Palm or some shit like that. I don't know. I've only taken it the full length, like, once. And it was miserable. But, yeah. And then after driving on that for a little while, we start getting deeper into the core of this, the inner layer of this onion that is Orlando. And yeah, I got into another toll road. I think this one was 408. And yeah, that just kind of took us closer and closer to our destination. At this point, I started getting pretty excited, but then also kind of worried. Like, shit, what if someone else beat me to all of this and we just drove all this way and racked up these tolls for like nothing? You know, someone else just came and scooped it all up, which, you know, fine, that's fair. That's what I'm intending to probably do. But I wanted it to be me. I didn't want it to be someone else. I wanted to scoop them. I drove 2 hours for this. So, yeah. Continuing on, we're getting closer, and eventually we get off the highway and we're in Orlando, and you can just take it all in. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. People from Tampa are always like, Orlando sucks. Tampa's so much better. But, like, I don't know if I buy that. Although I will say that most times I come to Orlando, something terrible happens to me or around me, to, like, people I'm with. But I don't know if that's the city itself or just coincidence or what. But, like, I remember one time me and a friend went to a show at, like, a disgusting punk house. And, like, my friend, like, used the bathroom and suddenly started, like, breaking out in hives everywhere. Like, they were allergic to something in the house. I don't know. And we had to, like, haul ass back home. And then another time I was driving my friend's car and someone fucking rear-ended us. And it was definitely their fault because we were just stopped at a stop sign. But whatever. I have no opinion. It seems fine. You look around you and it just looks regular. It just looks like everywhere else in Florida. So, whatever. But we're finally getting close to the thrift store. We're on the street that it's on. And yeah, I'm excited. And we get here and we took my girlfriend's car and I can't smoke in there. So after a quick pit stop to get cigs, which I was also out of, it's time to get down to business. So let's go inside.
and you can see me just kind of perusing, and I'm in awe of this stuff. It's pretty cool, all in pretty solid condition. But I did notice a lot of these are Mac versions of games. Wasn't really expecting that. I mean, I could see in the photo that was originally sent that some of them were Mac versions, but I didn't realize it was predominantly Mac versions. It must have all come from like the same guy or something. And there was another section that had some miscellaneous software. I didn't really care about this, like, Microsoft Office for Mac thing. I did grab this Starry Night thing. And then also I was walking around with my cart, and there's this sheriff's badge, and there it is. So yeah, after that I checked out, and yeah, I got it. So it was not a trip made in vain. Although I did notice that some of the ones in the photo, like Deus Ex and Hexen, were gone. Someone beat me to that, but that's fine. I can't complain. So yeah, we left at the right time because, with all this bullshit going on with COVID-19, I leave the house. I have to. I go to work, and I gotta, But, I do a lot of avoiding places these days if they're, like, too slammed. Because, I don't know. People say, oh, you're living in fear, bro. It's like, well, yeah, I don't think getting coronavirus would be great for me. So, and I just don't want to deal with it. So, whatever. And that's that. But yeah, so the store kind of started getting a little bit more full once we were leaving, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, got everything. And then while we were out there, I guess I felt it was only fair that I got to do my thing. My girlfriend drove us there. She should get to do a thing too. And she's really into plants these days. Real into plants and getting them and taking care of them. Can't relate. I recently received a plant from someone else, and I keep forgetting it exists. So there was a nursery kind of garden place in Orlando that she wanted to check out. So we decided we'd go there, check it out, scope out the vibe. If it's not, 200 people all just coughing on each other, then we'll check it out. And so we went on another toll road. It was a little bit outside of Orlando in Oviedo. I don't know, just some suburb. But yeah, we got there, and it's really strange. One thing I noticed kind of around town is the vibe is very different in terms of people wearing their mask and wearing them correctly and kind of staying socially distant. They're a lot better about it here. Where I live, especially in like the northern, like grumpy old people suburbs of the Bay Area, just a gigantic retirement community of boomers. They're ruthless. They hate you. They want you to die. And that's like even before this pandemic. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. So it was a nice change of pace to just kind of see people being, I don't know, a little bit more courteous and considerate to each other. So that was that. My girlfriend got some plants, and we were about to leave, but then there was this thing at the garden place. It was part of it. It wasn't a separate place, but they had like a butterfly exhibit thing. I don't know. There were butterflies and birds advertised, and as a bird enthusiast, I couldn't say no to that. Because, I have a bird. You've probably heard him screaming in the background of videos if you listen carefully enough. And a part of me felt kind of guilty for doing some like touristy stuff in the middle of, all this. But no one else was doing it because this is just like a regular ass suburb. So everyone here probably lives here and they don't really care. So it was just us alone in there, and it was gorgeous. Yeah, there's like butterflies everywhere just chilling, and you can have them come up on you. And that's what I did. And there's also like quail running around and some like pigeons and doves. It was just really nice. And there's this cool fountain in here, and I don't know, it was just really pretty and kind of serene. And I didn't realize how much I needed something like that. With everything going on, this year's just been terrible for so many people, just so much pain and suffering and uncertainty. It's just kind of nice to be reminded, like, hey, there are some things that are still, beautiful and can bring you joy. And that's a perfect time to go back home and have it all crushed again. So we left the nursery and started heading back out of town. And then after stopping in Tampa and grabbing some quick takeout, we headed home and then just kind of chilled the rest of the day. Too much doing things. We haven't done that much in one day in probably like 8 or 9 months. So that was the end of our thrifting and plant shopping adventure. So let's see what I ended up with. All right, here's the haul, and quite the haul it is. But one thing I've noticed in the weeks since filming this, because some time has elapsed, almost entirely Mac versions, just Mac versions of almost everything. And that's cool, but I didn't have anything that could play them. I've got a bunch of Macintosh Pluses, but nothing more recent than that. But that's okay, I found a solution to that, and I'll show that off in a minute. But let's just go through what we got here one by one. We've got that Starry Night thing. I am covering someone's phone number and address that's on a sticker here. Got Civilization 2, Civilization 3, a sealed and fantastic condition Star Trek Judgment Rights. And this looks really cool. And then we've got Duke It Out in DC, Macintosh Authorized Edition. I need to get the base game for Macintosh, but yeah, that's really neat. We've got a partially unsealed Voyeur. Don't get caught. That's a hell of a game from that golden era of early FMV games. We've got this, which looks really cool. Prime Target. This cover is absurd. I mean, just look at this guy. Just really look at him. More importantly, look at this guy. But yeah, this looks like some sort of first-person shooter, I guess. Looks like kind of a Doom ripoff, honestly. It might be one of those mini Doom ripoffs from the mid-90s, but hey, I'm fine with that. I'll take it. And then we've got Capitalism, still sealed. Neat. Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. And I've been curious about this game for a long time, but I've never played it. But yeah, looks neat. The Sid Meier stuff is typically pretty cool. This is a wonderful looking box. I mean, just really look at it. It's shiny and embossed. Oh yeah. But yeah, and a upward gatefold here, which is neat. But yeah, this looks like a cool game. And whoever donated this stuff was definitely into some strategy games. And this is a monstrously heavy box. There's a lot of stuff in here. Terra Nova, Strike Force Centauri. And yeah, looks really cool. It's a 3D something. And yeah, looks cool. What's in here? There's got to be a shit ton of stuff. Oh, there's a guide. It's a thick boy. And then, most of the weight is just the guide. There's not much in here otherwise. But yeah, this looks cool. Gotta try it out. And I will. Got Deadlock, Planetary Conquest. That's a cover right there. Yeah, more strategy. And then here's some shovelware done right. This looks pretty neat. I've heard good things about that Blade Runner game. And I know it's one of those ones that's kind of, if you find it, you're going to pay money for it. And, well, I guess I did. $14.99. This was the most expensive one in the bunch. But I guess they figured, like, oh, it's 3 games in one. So if you think about it that way, they're all $5. But yeah, this looks cool. It's got Blade Runner, Dune 2000, which I know nothing about, and Wing Commander Prophecy. And yeah. Oh. One of my favorite game covers ever made. Never played the game, although I've heard it's good and improves upon, the first Myst game in a lot of ways, but just an amazing cover. And I look forward to trying this, and I'm sure I will soon. The last video I did was on, or one of the last ones was on unsealing a copy of Myst. And, yeah, this is one of the rare PC titles in this. Or, I guess it's for both. Well, whatever. But, yeah. Something I can run on a PC at least. They've got Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Yeah, this is another one of the PC ones. Windows 95. Yeah, looks cool. Never played any of these. This is a hell of a box. You've got some color changing embossed business here. And it's a freaking trapezoid. And yeah, this is Star Trek The Next Generation of Final Unity by Spectrum Holobyte, who I know from some other cool games they've done, like Vet. Yeah, this looks really neat. So, yeah. A10 Cuba. I'm not really sure how I feel about defending Guantanamo Bay. I wonder what the public perception of Guantanamo Bay was in 1996. And then, hell yeah, Wing Commander 3. Always wanted to try the Wing Commander games because they just seem so cool. And Wing Commander 4. And this I've already played. It runs really great on the computer that I got to play these. Tomb Raider 2. Yeah. I'd never played any of the Tomb Raider games on PC. I only played them on consoles. So. And then this I've been playing an absolute shit ton of. That's why it's already open. The Macintosh version of Age of Empires. Age of Empires, this one is just like landmark, legendary games. And who never played them? This guy. Like, even when they were new, I was always curious about them. I heard they were like the shit, but I don't know. I just never played them and never got around to it. And I don't know if this Macintosh version is necessarily the definitive edition of this, but hey, it works for me and it's tons of fun, and I've sunk so much time into it already. And finally, Baldur's Gate. Like this series, really glad to have this. So cool. These games are just awesome. And yeah. And what did I get to play them on? Well, let's go take a look. Yep, that's right. I got a G3 iMac. I found this on Facebook Marketplace for a very reasonable price and a very reasonable distance away, and it's in great shape. And very important for me, it has the original mouse and keyboard. Because I'll see these for sale sometimes, but they might have like the later iMac mouse or whatever, and I want the hockey puck, especially like matched to the body of the computer. which this is a teal iMac. And yeah, I love these computers. Just a classic, iconic design. Yeah, they're just awesome. And I didn't use Mac at home back then, but there is some nostalgia because we used these very heavily in school. Apple did their thing of pumping these into the education market, and our school computer lab was just full of them, and every classroom had like one or two as well. And yeah, this thing just runs great. It's handled every game I've thrown at it so far, and nothing wrong with it. Came with a bunch of extras, and it's just so cool. Like, I'm just so jazzed to have this. And if you'll notice, this is not my like desk in the other room with all my other retro computers. This is my personal desk in my bedroom where I am at pretty often. And I've been using this thing so much that I want it nearby at all times. And yeah, I've just been playing the hell out of Age of Empires. I got that on the desktop here. And yeah, this is perfect for what I wanted, and I'm just real hyped. Yeah, pretty good experience thrifting in the middle of a pandemic. In the weeks since doing all that, I've been kind of like, oh, that was probably kind of dumb. Thankfully, I didn't get sick from it. I mean, you know, I didn't really think I would, or that it was that likely, because, you know, took precautions, practiced common sense, and most importantly, just fully ready to bail and go home if it seemed too sketch. But it didn't, and it worked out. But, you know, be careful and don't make my mistakes. Yeah. That's really all I got for this video, I guess. You know, stay safe, be careful, practice common sense, because I feel like that's just kind of severely lacking these days. And yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching.